official said this week, I want to put it up on the screen. He said in private exchanges, the Surgeon General has praised our work. The White House is looking for scapegoats for missing their vaccine goals. And
when I purchased this, I was told it was a 1948, so I'd assume it is. So I'm set up here. I always mark my hots or neutrals depending on the cover. The vanilla one is the main switch to turn on. It will turn on one bulb. Second one will turn on the second bulb. So I have it plugged into here. I marked neutral on the back of here. And I will have to rearrange the switch because they have neutral going through the switch, which is really stupid because if you shut it off, then hot will swing around the filaments or the windings of your power transformer, which is, I learned now dealing with guitar amplifiers very quickly when you shut an amp off and they buzz. So this thing here was badly shorted with my capacitor checker. So was that one. These ones were okay. The resistors, some of them weren't too bad except for the one, I don't remember what it is. So I replaced some components in here. These things I had for a long time, orange drop. I clipped a couple capacitors here. This one goes to the plate of the 35 B5, I think it is, audio output. And I clipped another lead that went to the filaments here because that could wipe out a couple tubes if it's really shorted. So they're clipped at this time. A bunch of electrolytics got to be replaced, paper, waxies got to be replaced, and I got a lot of high megohm stuff here, 2.7 meg, and all these high megohm things. I'm going to pause this a minute and turn on my light. So I'm hoping to get some action there. I don't know what I expect. So here it goes. It's I think 45 watts, so I think I only need one light. So here goes.
I'm asking these companies to step up and take responsibility for what's happening on their sites. I'm asking them to look out for the people all across this country whose lives depend on having access to accurate information. And that's what I'm going to continue to do. I'll be happy to talk.
Maybe I should have had it turn around so I can look at the filaments. I checked all the tubes. They are series ran in a complicated way. It doesn't seem like anything's happening. I'm pretty sure I have to turn on this switch first. Try the black one. Oh, black one first. Okay, black chocolate one first. Okay. Okay. I want to get the filament voltage of the CRT so I can test it. I cannot get it out of the SAMs. She's dimming down. I should flip this over. I'm going to pause it and go for check my B+ power supplies. I did replace, like I say, I replaced that. There is another electrolytic in here that's right there. I disconnected that and checked them both. They both checked good. I don't know about the capacity, but they're not. The eye opens. And this other one, I makeshift that in there. That's for a negative power supply on this thing. Let me see. I don't know where the brightness is or anything on this thing. Brightness is number 2, and contrast is the end. Okay. I don't expect anything. Brightness is all the way up. Contrast all the way up. It's not doing nothing, but I would assume the horizontal and vertical's not working. Whoops. Doesn't sound like sound. So instead of, so brightness is, doesn't do nothing, yeah. So I have to, I better shut it off. This isn't doing it any good. Damage, if anything, so. Yeah, I guess I got nowhere here. I'm gonna pause it and just check my B+ and stuff. Okay, back on. These components I replaced like this, saying that wasn't my intentions to replace it. It's only 5 microfarads at 50 volts. This waxy on the 25L6 was not intentionally replaced. I just had to deal with the pin. Well, maybe it was. This one thing was really shorted. And this thing here, whoever worked on it before, this wire here kind of was that way. This is clipped from I think this other capacitor that was originally replaced. This is the capacitor with this bright orange, I don't know if I can flash on it, bright orange decal on it. And this was cut from that. And when somebody was working on it, they moved that out of the way, and that was hid by this. This was above it. And it hid that wire somebody snipped off. So this capacitor was hiding it, but I could kind of see something down there, so I tried looking, but I couldn't really tell because it was so, this was, you know, so I had to inspect that. So when I snipped this out of the way, and then I seen that whoever worked on it never properly hooked up the negative power supply, and that little capacitor down there replaced it. It's crazy. That's a 4.7 at 50 volts, and I think that's a 33K, I think. And I had to replace some of these because they were in my working area. So they weren't intentionally replaced. And then I J-hooked them, and I'm going to leave that capacitor. Okay, moving on. Turn it back on. Chocolate. First, I'll have to mark that. Okay, very bright. Dimming down. Okay, I'm gonna okay, this capacitor that I replaced, positive goes to ground. And the same thing with that little 4.7 electrolytic I put back here, positive goes to ground. I usually put color on my leads, so that's kind of makeshift in there, because I just want to get this thing up and running, but that's okay for me. I'll leave it like that. I think it's safe. So anyways, let's see. Okay, I'm on a 200 volt scale. The capacitor is rated at a maximum of 150, so we'll see what happens as I get here. So I'm getting 101 there. Nothing on that half. So this side here I got no voltage, so I got an open resistor. Let's go back to here. Okay, I got 102 volts. Okay, this side here, if I'm getting in there good, I'm getting zip. And there's a ballast resistor on here that somebody took apart too, and that was 2 9-ohm resistors in it and a 470 ohm resistor, so I hope I'm not abusing it. That's right here in this corner. It's a ballast resistor, a black steel cover, and you have to actually remove an arm off the unit to pull that out, so I better get moving here. I want to check this negative power supply. So that's at 13 volts. It's not even negative. Dang it. It's supposed to be negative voltage here. It's saying 12.8, so it's going opposite direction on my electrolytic. So something's radically wrong. I'm shutting it off right now. I'm not even going to go to 2 bulbs. Shut it off. Unplug it again. I mark my hots so I don't get electrocuted. But this thing here is isolated. They have a couple things isolating it from ground, which are they got these fiber things here separating it, and on all the controls they have fiber things to insulate the potentiometers from chassis ground, which I will put the switch, wire the switch up properly. They have the switch going to ground, so you open your neutral and you let the hot swing around all the filaments and come back and make the chassis somewhat dangerous, I guess. And so pause out here for a moment. So back on, here's the ballast resistor. It has the resistors are vertically in here. There's a 470 ohm and a 9 ohm and another 9 ohm. The 470 ohms comes from pin 4 to 6, and there's two 9 ohms. They're like center tap together. So pin 2 is the center tap, and pin 1 is 1 9 ohm, and pin 3 I think is the other one. So this tube said short. This one I have marked as weak. Short on one side. I got a couple IFs there. Let me see the 20. Oh shit! I didn't have the 25L6 in there. I wonder if that could have been the problem. Okay, this one is, has grid leakage. Good. The first and fourth IF are good. This one here is sound takeoff. This one here is video amp. It's a 6BA6. Is that, say it right? I wrote it down. 6BA6. Yeah. I remember those from the old transformer. 6AU6. That's synchronizing, and it does the blanking. This 6SN7 is horizontal multi-vibrator. These ones I didn't label. This is the little transformer on the horizontal. This is horizontal, I would assume, because of this. This, I don't know, so one of these have to be for vertical deflection stuff, and one's got to be horizontal deflection stuff. Where the heck that tube go? Okay, I'll try it again. This could have been the problem. It opens the circuit, 50L6. Okay, and this has this thing on it for the shield. Okay, we'll put the 20, what I call 50L6. It's a 25L6. Okay, I'll pause it because I would turn it on this way. I want to get the filaments of this, but I got the filament bolts so I can kind of check it, but it probably won't be in my tube tester information anyways. So I won't know anyways, but okay, I'm gonna flip it again, I think. I want to get the B plus on both sides of that capacitor. Okay, this thing here, the one that says up, is actually hot, so I painted this neutral on the left, so when I put this on, up is actually hot, so that'll go on the right. This is from my Zenith TV that I haven't got back to. I think it's a polarizing plug. It felt funny. Let's see what happens here. Turn the black on. Now that we got full. What does that tell me? Really bright. Really bright. Maybe that's normal. It's a 150 watt halogen. I don't see any filaments lighting. It's coming down. Okay, I see filaments in this 6SN7 right there. The halogen is blinding me. My sunlight is... Boy, that sucker's hot. I'm gaining nothing by this, so I'll shut it off. Pause out. Back on. But I'm not ready. I need to get established ground for my meter. I'll check the B+ voltages really quick. Get this thing on. Okay, back on. With this. So I want to get the voltages. Boy, I wish that wasn't so bright. This side here is showing nothing. But we do have a rectifier to light up here. Showing nothing. Showing negative 1 point. A little bit of negative. I suppose the rectifiers aren't conducting. Maybe I'll have to go to both bulbs. Maybe I should just go full Fletcher. It's not shorted. Where is it? 26 volts on the good side. See, this side was dead before. This side here is still dead. And when I felt the Ballast bulb there, it was cold. Now we got 44 volts. So I'm going to put on the second bulb here. 2 bulbs. So that's what, 150. So we got, what, 300. This is 45 watts, I think. I think it was. Let's get this. Okay, that one is 98.1 volts, and this one here was 98. This one here is 91. Let's see the negative power supply here. So we got negative 86 volts. On the 200 volt scale. Negative 86, so that's good. Again, this side here is at this time 99 volts, supposed to be probably 145 volts. This one here, the right one, is 86 volts, 82 volts, whatever. Doesn't matter, I better shut it off because it's got a lot of bad waxies. That's fine. I'll go. I can't go full Fletcher on here. I have to eliminate it. This is the extension cord. This is a green cord. I didn't need to undo it. These have been replaced, it looks like, compared to these. A lot of waxies. I gotta somehow figure out that CRT before I proceed, because it may not be worth it, or that fancy oscillator coil in the horizontal. That's gotta be known if it's good or bad. I was gonna replace this capacitor here, but it looks like it's a domino one and really hooked in there good, so I don't know what the life. I replaced no, not this one. That's that orange drop I put in. This one, 0.002, call it a ringing coil. See, it's got a feedback here. It's got a ring around the high voltage that swings back here on a 39K, and this thing's an oscillator, I guess. It's crazy. So it also has the horizontal oscillator here. I think it's this one. Yeah. To your deflection plates in the tube. Crazy. It's an oscilloscope TV. Oh, I want to feel that ballast resistor, but that doesn't matter. Where is it? It's way back here. It don't even feel warm. So, I'm stuck. I mean, the first thing I will go after, if I could figure out if the CRT is good, I'll go after the horizontal section so I can get all the waxies there replaced and get the high voltage or get the horizontal deflections going. And well, I guess I got to do vertical also. Horizontal, then vertical, and then I will attack the IFs. And I'm not a big fan of these coils. They don't even have the connector lugs on them. I know this was an inexpensive thing, sold brand new for $99.99, I think. And I paid about $310 for it. Crazy. But there's a fool born every day, they say. So I got one orange drop. I'll probably get a few more in here. I don't know if I should be using my orange drops. I should use my cheapo Chinese. I don't know what to do. Got a lot of this is 6,000 volts. These waxy ones are 3,000 volts, 6,000 volts. And those got to be replaced. Here's another 6,000 volt one, I think, down below that RFC choke. This one is no big deal. That's a 4.7, which would become that size, which would become. I got one right here. I didn't replace it yet, but that one there will be replaced with that one. This is 5 microfarad at 50 volts, and this is 4.7 at 50 volts. So, and this here eliminated a lot of space with somebody had these 2 dogs in there. I didn't think this one side was connected, but I couldn't see it when I first was looking at it. But these didn't test that bad, so this one was short. The eye won't open at all, but it wasn't connected anyways. It was somebody snipped it out and forgot to hook it up, which is easily done, I guess. You got to have stuff in plain sight. That's why I bent these waxies I disconnected. And the eye won't open at all with these things either. It won't even open at 100 volts. And when I turn my tester to 100 volts, it's still less than 100 volts. So, but these things here will drain down that high voltage really quick because there's such probably micro milliamps or something. It has no oomph, just voltage. So. And that big one below those 2 plate capacitors. And those things are 3,000 volts, 3,000 picofarads. Any microfarads, I guess, are the same. That big one, they all take the voltage down to nothing. There's quite a few of those in here. So I guess that's it. I'm stumped. So this is Orange Red Beginner's Corner. Stumped again. Don't know what to do. This is July 18th of 2021.